Holy crap, John, there's so many things to freaking celebrate right now. It's 2024.
It is. Happy New Year. Yes, sir.
Happy New Year. I realized when I wished you a Happy New Year that you were already living in the new year, and it was like, you were just like, that's old news, man.
Yeah, man, I was not feeling too good on the bed.
Self-inflicted? Self-inflicted?
Yeah, went to a rock concert.
Oh, look at
Saw
you go.
A few very good bands. Yeah, it was good fun.
Good. I'm glad you had a really good New Year's Eve. That's awesome. Now, this is bittersweet, man. This is week 18. This is week 18.
Sort of.
Yeah, I mean, we got playoffs after this.
Yeah, there is actually still, after this, another 4 episodes that we'll be doing. But it is starting to wind down. We have to get a bit more strategic about it as well.
Yeah, and I got the hockey show starting, so that's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of content. But you know what? We waited a long time to even get to this place. For everybody watching, what a ride this has been. This regular season's been. It's been absolutely chaotic and insane. And fantasy football was nuts. Prop betting was fucking nuts. Yeah, it just feels like
very up and down, very hot and cold. I feel.
Yeah. I mean, Vegas was on fire this year. It was just nuts. Like, what a crazy year. I don't mean the football team. It was a crazy year. We exploited a lot of lines, John. We exploited a lot of lines.
We did well. The singles did very well. I had a couple of parlays. Would have liked a few more parlay hits than I got.
Some
of
the ones were fucking massive, though.
Yeah. You know what was interesting was, oh man, how about my week 17 one? My Christmas one. That was brutal. I felt, for anyone who didn't see, I didn't actually post my ticket. It was 7 legs. It fell short on 5 yards of Cedric Wilson.
5 yards, Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, and it would have hit 3K. Bummer.
Yeah. Well, hey, you win some, you lose some. That's betting, brother.
We're still here.
So this week's very interesting for football. There's a lot of teams that really have fucking dog shit to play for. Pardon my language, but it's the truth of the matter. They don't have anything to play for. And then there's a lot of teams that
just dog shit.
Yeah, but there are a lot of teams that are just dog shit. And there's a few teams and a few players that have a lot to play for. And I think that's what we're going to focus on this week. John, why don't you kick us off and talk about a couple of the teams that are playing for something?
Yeah, so this is where my bets are going to be a bit shaky, but there's a few ways that we can go about betting this. So, for example, here's the teams that when I'm not betting, I don't know about you, but it's going to be the Ravens, the Browns, the Chiefs, the Rams, and the 49ers. They're all resting their starters. Yeah.
I mean, taking secondary players would be a smart idea on a team like the Browns or.
Okay, so you might do it.
I'm going to put some singles out there. I'm not going to talk about them on the show, but they're going to be like, if you drop some DMs and you chit chat to me off air, we're going to have a chit chat about a couple of the single plays for some of these secondary players.
That's interesting you say that now, because I'm thinking Cedric Tillman, who's been involved. Maybe like now that you mentioned the Browns.
Get him going.
Maybe. Okay.
The WRs, so a lot of those are going to go back to elementary schemes, though. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a lot of running backs and then a lot of dump offs. Once again, it's just like going with preseason. You take players that are the path least resistance for the ball, and I mean running back plays, rush attempts, receiving yards for running backs and receiving yards for tight ends are really what I would. Or receptions for both of those. I'd really focus on those teams that are resting all their starters. But to be honest with you, those aren't fun things to talk about right now. And this is week 18. I kind of wanted to focus on some fun things to talk about. But let's talk about teams that have something to play for and that you want to.
So here's the teams who must win. So Steelers, Texans, Colts, Jags. Sort of the Vikings, the Falcons a little bit as well. They're still in with a small chance.
Zero chance.
Saints,
get
Bucks,
out of here.
Packers definitely.
The Falcons, come on.
Eagles, Seahawks, Cowboys, Bills, Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
They're the teams that sort of have something to play for. And to an extent, the Lions, it's a bit iffy.
The Dolphins, though, man. Like, come on, you're gonna put eggs in that basket?
Hell yeah, man! I'm looking. That's going to be a huge game. Huge game. That's like win and they've got the division. That's the big Sunday night game. And then I'll just finish while you're thinking about that.
Yeah.
I'll just finish with the garbage that we were talking about before. So Titans, Bengals, Jets, Patriots, Panthers, Bears, Broncos, Raiders, Giants, Cardinals, Chargers, Commanders. They all don't have anything to play for other than pride. I will say, so it's just speaking of pride, the Bears, this is Justin Fields, his audition to be on the new team. I feel he does have something to play for. The other one, which we'll get into soon, is the Arizona Cardinals. Don't you feel there's a bit of like Detroit Lions 2022 about them at the moment?
I'm feeling it. I think next year is a very good year for the Cardinals. I think recruiting is going to be humongous this offseason for the Cardinals. They remind me of the Rams before the Rams got hot.
Yeah.
They really do. But 2017 Rams or 2018 Rams?
The 2022 Detroit Lions, they started the year something like 1-6.
Yeah.
But then they finished really strong. I thought they finished like 6-7 somewhere down the stretch eventually.
There's a buzz there. There's a buzz in Arizona. I love it going into next year. I do. I think they're going to win this game, to be honest with you. I think they're going to spoil. I think they're going to spoil Seattle.
So we could open with this game. Otherwise, the Titans, there's a few incentive ones that we were talking about before the show as well. Which way do you want to go first?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Okay. Well, let's start with the Cardinals since we're talking about them. So this is my first unofficial prop, sort of. I've got 3 other props, but here's one I was looking at was Ken Walker over 65.5 rushing yards, or you can take the scrimmage yards as well. The reason I like this is all season long, the entire season, no team has had a problem running on the Arizona Cardinals. We can see on my chart here. Last week, DeAndre Swift did really well.
Yeah. Except
Khalil Herbert, every single one. Look at this scrimmage. Since week 1, every single prop rushing scrimmage went over. The only one that didn't was week 9 Cleveland Browns. I think that they were, I don't know what the story was there. I cannot remember, but everyone else. So this lines up really well for Ken Walker. Now, having said that, this strikes me as a really big letdown spot for the Seahawks. I was sort of saying to you before the show, Seahawks usually win in Glendale and Cardinals usually win in Seattle. So it's always a weird sort of flip there, but I just think the Cardinals have been playing so hard at the moment. Jonathan Gannon announced during the week, he was asked, is Kyler your guy? He basically said, yep, number 1 is our guy. This is our plan going in. And I feel like there's so much hype around them. Like
there's so much hype.
They're really building that.
This is a send-off.
Huge win last week against the Eagles.
I can't get behind the Seahawks. To be honest with you, Ken Walker has been I
think they might lose this game.
They're going to lose the game. Ken Walker is the shining light for the Seahawks. Absolutely the shining light for the Seahawks. The guy runs like Le'Veon Bell. His patience. Not like now Le'Veon Bell, but Le'Veon Bell when we all love Le'Veon Bell. He to me is like a future star. Like next year, Ken Walker I think is going to put up some monster numbers. Do I like him in a Week 18 spot against this surging Cardinal team?
They have to win.
Seattle has to win.
Seattle has to win to make the playoffs.
Or they don't have to win and they don't make the playoffs. And that happens. It happens often in the NFL. And I to be honest with you, John, I'm out.
Yeah, it's been so if you bet the over every single week, you would have so much money.
Compounded. Imagine compounded.
Over under is 48. Oh. I think there's going to be a shootout as well. Geno's playing really, really well. Since apparently I saw a stat since week 13, he has a QBR rating number 1 in the NFL. DK is hot at the moment. Jackson Smith and Jigba was playing really well. It could be Tyler Lockett sort of like way out as well. So I'm not worried about the offense. It's the defense that concerns me to win the game.
Yeah.
But the rushing, I think that they're going to play hard. We'll see. I think I'm into it. I'm talking myself into it.
Okay, you talk yourself into it. The only thing I like in that game is Greg Dortch on the over, whatever the hell his prop line is, and I like James Conner to bust one in the end zone. I like that. But that's about, I think, all I like in that whole game. The rest of it, I think, is just so wishy-washy. John, talk yourself into it. Rock and roll. I hope the gang follows. I hope you got a nice, long friggin' bus ride and a lot of passengers on your bus ride there, but I will not be on that bus with you.
It's funny you say that about James Conner as well, because the only team that has a worse or as bad of a run defense as Arizona is the Seattle Seahawks. So this is just going to be an absolute bloodbath of rushing.
I agree with you on that, but I don't think they're going to go very far. I think it's going to be so divisional, like a classic divisional game, to be honest with you.
But every game this week is divisional, so that's the world we live in at the moment.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love that. For this, and then there's the first one that I want to talk about is a divisional game, and it's the spoiler game for the Tennessee Titans. And I love this spoiler spot for the Titans because the Titans don't really have anything to play for, and the only thing that they really have to play for is an incentive for DeAndre Hopkins. Mm-hmm. If D-Hop gets 49 yards, he gets an additional $1 million.
Yeah, this is great.
And so before anybody friggin' tells me that, they're going to sit him because they don't want to pay that, is there another wide receiver that you would want on your team for next year than D-Hop, the way that he's played? If you're going to try and make a playoff push next year, unless you're just folding it in and you're saying next year's a rebuild year, like you want D-Hop back in that building. And the only way to do that is to make this man happy, because the whole season's been a letdown, and you want to know what would make a man happy at the end of a season? It'd be another fucking $1 million. It would make a man really happy. It would make a man really happy. And then on top of that, 7 catches, and he gets another $250,000. So he has a potential. He has a potential to earn another $1,125,000 or $250,000. I think it's $250,000. I might be wrong. Anyway, he has the potential to earn well over $1 million. And champagne bottles are going to be popping. They need something to play for. Whenever you need something to play for, you want to spoil the Jags, because fuck the Jags. When
we're very spoilable.
Yep, who are very spoilable.
Defense has been bad.
This is a prime spot for Will Levis.
Yeah.
If he's playing. Is he healthy?
No, it's going to be Tannehill. But
Tannehill.
Does it matter?
It kind of matters to me.
No, think about this, right? Like, they're going to break the huddle. Tannehill's going to call a run play to Derrick Henry, and D-Hop's going to look at him and be like, fuck that.
Give me the ball.
You're throwing me the ball. You are.
Throw me the ball. You throw me the ball. Hey, do you want to be a quarterback next year in the NFL? Throw me the fucking football.
How many audibles is Ryan Tannehill going to be calling out at the line of scrimmage? Okay, it was a run. Kill. We're gonna go.
So many catches, like screens behind the line of scrimmage, forward passes on end arounds.
Yeah.
Like I love D-Hop in this spot. I really do. Barring an injury, he's gonna crush every over. The only one I can see him not crushing is the longest completion if it's Ryan Tannehill. That scares the shit out of me. But 49 yards. Take him at 50. Like, if you're playing DraftKings, move the line to 50. Take him at 50. That's the celebratory, and take him on the over on his receptions. The Vegas is smart. They're probably going to have him at 6. They're going to have him at 6, the one under where he's going to make his bonus. But don't be scared. I think roll them both. Go for it. I'm going for it. Go for it with me. Obviously I love it. My only thing is that usually when it comes to a player like DeAndre Hopkins, even if he doesn't get it, they still, as a courtesy, give them the money anyway. It does happen sometimes. Having said that, though, 49 yards, it's definitely achievable.
and he'll probably have a prop line for catches around 4.5, 5 catches.
It's gonna be 5. It's gonna be 5.5. It's gonna be 6.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't looked at it, but by the time it gets there, because people do pay attention to this shit on week 18, it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there. But I don't care. I actually don't care that people are paying attention to it, because I honestly believe that is a future Hall of Famer, and you do the right thing with that player. If you don't, the whole media is going to be all over it, and Vrabel is already on the hot seat. Do the fucking right thing. Give D-Hop the goddamn ball. Get him his 50 yards. Get him his 7 catches. That's it.
This is a Titans home game. The other thing is the game opened Jags, I think it was like -5 or -6.
-5.
It's currently, you can get it in some spots at -3.
I don't like the Jags in this game.
It's been bet all the way down. No, I mean, Titans might win it outright.
I think they will.
I know that they
love them as a spoiler in this spot.
They have traded away a lot of their defensive players, so there is that to consider. But with what you're saying, it's on the line.
Pride.
I've got a couple of other. Do you have more incentive laden picks?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Okay, because I've got like a list of a lot of players who have incentives. For example, actually, I don't think this will be one of yours, but Geno Smith to make the playoffs. If he makes the playoffs, he gets $2 million.
$2 million.
That's nuts.
I know it's nuts, but the Arizona
He's got
Cardinals,
a lot to play for.
There's something there with the Cardinals. There's something there, John.
Austin Eckler needs 110 total yards to make 100K.
Not going to happen. It's 100K. It's fucking...
Nah, that's not going to happen. I'm not betting that.
Nobody's going to.
All right, no, that's a great pick. So DeAndre Hopkins, we love it.
Yep.
We love it. Oh, quick question, though. Okay, so we talked about the Ravens at the top of the show. OBJ has a couple of incentives.
No, he's got.
But he might not even get rolled out
yards. He's got 170-something yards he's got to do.
Oh, yeah. It's 5 catches, 185 yards to make $1 million.
When's the last time he had 5 catches in a game?
It's been a while. I mean,
when's the last time OBJ has ever played in a meaningless game?
The other thing is they're the number 1 team in the conference. Like, they'll give him that money anyway.
Why play him?
They'll give him that money anyway. All right. I want to move to my next prop pick, which is we already talked about. We touched on the Chicago Bears at the start of the show.
I love it.
This is DJ Moore is the way I'm looking.
Okay.
Justin Fields has the incentive to play out of his mind. He's playing for his career. He's playing for a new team. They are playing the Green Bay Packers.
He's not playing for a new team. He's going to be on the Chicago Bears next year.
Justin Fields.
Yep.
What?
Yep. Justin Fields is going to be a Bear next year.
He's going to be a Seattle Seahawk next year.
Not a chance. Not a chance. He's going to be a Bear.
There's no way. There's no way he stays on the Bears. It doesn't make any sense to pay him a contract.
Yeah, no, it does.
With Caleb Williams.
No. Like, you're telling me you would take Caleb Williams over Justin Fields right now?
Yeah, of course. Like, all things considered, you have one more rookie year of Justin Fields' contract if you pick up the 5th-year option. Then you've got the fact that, like, Caleb Williams is, in a vacuum, probably a better player than Justin Fields. No shade to Justin Fields. He's a great player as well.
They're going to draft a quarterback.
I think that they know what they've got.
I don't think they do.
In Justin Fields. I think they're like, okay, like we know how it turned out.
I beg to differ.
All right. Well, even still, regardless of that, one of the worst defenses against the receivers in the NFL over the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks has been the Green Bay Packers. Have been giving it up to everyone. I'm not sure what the deal is there with Jair Alexander. I know he missed last week because he was suspended due to the coin flip. He
hasn't been playing too well.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He hasn't been playing very well.
No, he has not.
Is this a Chicago Bears home game? I don't think it is because they played at home last week against the Falcons. It must be in Lambeau. So, okay, it does make me a little bit more nervous, but
I think Green Bay wins the game.
I think Green Bay wins the game. I hope not, because then the Seahawks they miss out on the playoffs. So Green Bay has to win and in effectively. But
Cardinals are already going to take that from Seattle.
Yeah, as we discussed. But this is an early window game. So
is it? Is it 1 o'clock? So it could already be over.
Oh, actually, no, it wouldn't be then because hang on, let me take a quick squiz at my list here. No, this is a late game. This is a 4:25 game. Yeah, okay. So they lined that up well because it would have been if it was an early game, it would have been like Packers win. Seahawks have nothing to play for all of a sudden.
Right.
They're favored -3. Over under 45.5. I think DJ Moore gets enough balls where he can catch 60 yards, 65.5 yards.
Is that all he
Even
is?
if Justin Fields. Although last week he was up to 70 yards, I think I saw, which he still hit. He had a sort of week 15, week 16 were a bit down. Other than that, though, man, DJ Moore's been an absolute stud.
He's been a baller.
He's absolutely balled out this year. So
yeah,
I have gone to the well with him a number of times, and he's won me money a number of times. And I think I'll just do it one more as a thank you for 2023.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
You know, I've been on the same train. So, you know what? I'll probably. I love the pick. It's not going to be part of my list of picks here, but I think. Actually, fuck it. Yeah, it is. DJ Moore over receiving yards. Let's go.
I think it's there. If you can get around 65.
Yeah.
Like that, I think that's a nice number.
I like 72. I think that's fine. Yep.
I just want to check really quickly what the weather's going to be. What's the weather like in Toronto at the moment? Is it nice? Lovely.
We're experiencing a snowstorm coming in.
Jeez.
It's going to be shit at Lambeau. Lambeau, there's nothing good about Lambeau at this time of year. Nothing.
Yeah, Sunday's going to be 3 degrees. Having said that, though, no
3 degrees.
precipitation.
3 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Celsius, yeah. Celsius.
Okay, Celsius.
Yeah, no, man. Fahrenheit would be
I was like, Jesus Christ, what are they like?
Yeah. So look, the weather, it's going to be cloudy, so it'll be overcast. That's good. There's going to be no chance of rain. That's good. There's no moisture in the air. I think it'll be dry. I think it'll actually be probably good conditions.
Yeah, DJ Moore over. Let's go.
Okay,
I got another one.
Go.
Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
$2 million if the Bucs make the playoffs. Baker Mayfield.
This is a great one.
Baker Mayfield has already been told that he is going to be the quarterback for next year.
Has he?
Yeah.
He should be.
With him. He should be.
Yeah.
Honestly, Baker Mayfield's playing out of his mind. Baker Mayfield is, in my eyes, I think this is where his career takes off. He's finally found the right home, the right system. I love it. I love Baker Mayfield in Tampa. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. And he loves Mike Evans.
He does. He loves Mike Evans. Do I want to take Baker Mayfield's stat lines? No, I don't, because I actually think he's going to get sat at some point in this game. They're playing the Carolina Panthers. I think in the third quarter, if they're ahead by 3 touchdowns, if they're ahead by like 20 points, why would you risk your investment for the playoffs? You kind of already know it's happening. The Carolina Panthers can't score points anyway. This is not one of those trap games, I don't think. I can't see the Panthers all of a sudden having a good game. They've looked awful all year long. You're not just going to week 18 all of a sudden discover how to play proper offense. It's been elementary all over the place. And I think what's going to happen is they're going to put the ball in Baker's hands right at the start of the game and put a dagger in the game early. I think they're going to take a couple shots. I can see probably by the half 3 shots, 3 full-blown shots. And who's the beneficiary of those shots? If it's Tompkins, I'm going to lose my mind. But it's not going to be. It's going to be Mike Evans. And how many yards is Mike Evans at on the year? Can you pull that up?
I don't have it on me right now, but we do know it's at least 1,000.
He's over
because he's done it every. He was over K like week 13. He was over K.
I mean, the guy's an animal.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Is like I think I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, what his receiving yards are probably going to be somewhere around like 75 or something, eh? Like I don't even. I feel like I should have looked this up. I was playing hockey.
It's actually not out yet.
It's not.
Well, not for lowly plebs like me who don't pay Action Network. Maybe it is for you.
Let me see.
Take a quick look. While you take a quick look, right, I want to bring up something I just found on Twitter about Baker Mayfield, which this is the strangest thing that I've come across, and we'll circle back around to it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a quote from Greg Allman, who covers the NFC South for Fox Sports. Mm-hmm. Here's how close Baker Mayfield is to getting his $300,000 incentive. It's for yards per attempt, a bonus if he finishes in the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL for yards per attempt. He is currently at 9th. He's just ahead of Josh Allen. He has it at 7.3%. So right now he's in, but also if he throws 2 incompletions more, then he falls out of the top 10. What a weird bonus.
But so is that yards per completion? Is that what you said?
Per attempt.
Per attempt.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to take fucking shots here.
Yeah, so it's 300,000. But what he needs, so he needs completions to happen. He needs his boys to catch the ball as a must.
So Mike Evans is at 61.5. Over.
Okay. That's a great number.
Longest reception, 23.5. Over.
Over. Yeah. I mean, it's either going to be 40 yards or it'll be 4 yards.
No, there's no way. It's going to be 40. Like, he's bombing a couple out. He's bombing a couple
This is also a 1 o'clock game, which is also nice and juicy, so you can get these ones out of the way early.
Yeah, so there it is. Mike Evans over 61.5 receiving yards. Not scared about it. And don't even want to move the line like I normally would. And then the longest reception is 23.5 over. Yeah. I don't know what the longest pass is. The passing odds are not out yet. But if Baker Mayfield's is 33 for the longest pass completion, because then it doesn't matter who he's passing to. It's somebody who's going to bust one out for the long one. I would probably take that too. The only thing I'm scared about is like Baker Mayfield's pass line is going to be at like 247 or something. And to be honest with you, I can see him getting to 200 and then them shutting him down. To be honest,
look. That's actually sort of not the thing that concerns me. And Baker's actually been very, very good this season if you wanted to bet overs on his passing yards. He's sort of fallen off the last couple of weeks, but...
If he plays the full game, John.
Yeah, so the actual thing that scares me is the Carolina Panthers defense. This game is in Carolina as well, and the Panthers defense have been one of the best at shutting down receivers and quarterbacks as well. I'll just bring this up for my stats. I don't actually have the last couple of weeks. I haven't filled that in yet. But you can see only Geno, who was against Andy Dalton, had success. Everyone else that they ever played did not. When Baker played them last, he got 220. That was in Tampa. So there is that. Having said that, though, I mean, the Panthers, man, they have nothing to play for. Their owner is in the media at the moment for not the right reasons. They're in a bit of
team's a dumpster fire, bro. Like, team's a dumpster fire. This doesn't end well. This does not end well. And recruiting is going to be very tough for Carolina this offseason. Very tough.
Coach.
They're going to be a dumpster fire next year too. But I am not scared. Mike Evans over 61.5.
Oh, the over-under is also... The only other thing that throws me off it is the over-under is 37.
They'll all be Tampa,
which is very low. What I will say though is the Bucks. The Bucks are favored 4.5. So a 4.5 point favorite on such a low over-under usually means that the Vegas doesn't believe
on the road, and then that's a 3-point swing right there. So that's actually 7.5 if they were home. Yeah,
exactly. I actually saw a stat that this year it's been closer to about 2.4 points swing. So I mean,
3.
Whatever. But yeah. Yeah, round up to 3. I was going to round down to 2, but whatever. Yeah, whatever. So I think that there's enough there. It's like Baker has all the incentives he needs. Mike Evans has some great incentives as well. And also Mike Evans just likes to beat divisional opponents in general.
Baker Mayfield, the Moxie's coming in hot. You just feel it with Baker right now. And there's an energy going on there in Tampa, and I think when they make it into the playoffs, they're going to do some damage. I think they win their first game, too, when they make it in. They're going to make it in.
Yep. So, I love it. Actually, that's another thing. The way it's shaping up right now, so because of that Detroit Lions disaster last week in prime time, right now, the Los Angeles Rams would travel to Detroit to play the Lions. Do you think that there'll be a bit of feeling in that game?
That is such a shit show.
That'll be the first
I feel so bad for Detroit.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Coming back.
Coming home.
And beating the shit out of the Lions. Like, oh God. I mean, the Rams look insane right now. And I don't care. Too many people are knocking on the Rams right now. And there is no justification for it. That defensive line is insane. It's insane. Yeah. It is a havoc wreaker, and there is no time in the pocket for whoever's playing against them. And Matt Stafford seemingly has all the time in the pocket, and it's such a mismatch. Every single game. And then Kyren Williams has had a couple games where he's got 170-something yards.
Yeah.
Rushing.
Yeah.
Rushing. And Puka Nacua in those games has close to 100 yards receiving. Cooper Kupp, well, whatever. He's got 4 catches for 50 yards, and it's just one. And Kyren Williams has 40 yards receiving. Like they don't. They just beat you however the hell they want to.
We'll get to this game.
Nuts.
We'll get to this game next week. But yeah, I mean, like, you don't think Aaron Donald, who spent 4 years sacking Jared Goff in training,
he's gonna eat the shit out of Jared Goff. Like, I feel bad for Dan Campbell because I want this to be the Lions' year. It's not the Lions' year. If they're playing the Rams, not the Lions' year. Not the Lions' year. They feel like they're a year off. Like the Lions are so close. If you're a Lions fan, you got to just be excited, just in general, right? But anyway.
I feel like this has got to be their year. Okay,
no,
we'll,
you're wrong.
We'll preview that game.
You're not. I can't say you're wrong, but like the Rams are so good, John. Like,
yeah. No, I know. I have to watch them in my division every week. I know what the Rams are. They
disgusting.
They swept the
Seahawks. They're crushing opponents.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they beat us week 1. They beat us in Seattle by like 11 points or something like that. 2 scores.
Yeah, so
which doesn't look so
to the
bad
49ers.
Now. Yeah.
Was it overtime that they lost, or was it like last second? Like they lost by
49ers?
Yeah.
Can't remember. I know that Kyle Shanahan has been Sean McVay's daddy for a few years now.
A long time, yeah. Yeah, a long time. Anyway, moving on. What do you got?
Anyway, I want to get to my last one, which I'm going to look at Dallas here. Speaking of, I think that they have to win this game against Washington. They need this number 1 spot.
They're going to crush Washington.
There's a good chance that Philly takes the number 1 pick. Washington are the very proud owner right now of the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. I think that they're more than happy with that, more than content. Their defense has been so bad in so many areas. Can't trust Tony Pollard here with the rushing, but I'm looking. Okay, Jay, do you remember the last time I bet Jake Ferguson? What happened?
Did he explode?
Probably not. It was the one game. It was against the Chargers where everything aligned and it looked like it was going to be a perfect game for Jake Ferguson. And
then it wasn't.
And then it wasn't. It was like that one game against the Chargers. Every tight end had been hitting over their props against the Chargers. Every tight end. It's just Jake Ferguson was that one time.
But in that game, he needed 5 catches. He needed like fucking 50 yards or something. Like that was intense for a tight end.
It was not too bad. Look, here's the thing. Here's what we know about Jake Ferguson. Here's what we know about Dak is he loves his tight ends. And I'm going back to the well with Jake Ferguson. He's had 4 or more catches every week for the last 6 weeks. This is a must win. Washington are terrible. I just want to see, is this game in, what are they called? FedEx? No, they weren't called FedEx anymore.
They are in Washington.
Yes, fair enough. They're in Washington.
Yeah.
Where is it? Okay, so it's a 425 game. Over-under is 46. Cowboys are favored -13. Sam Howell, I think, is going to play as well because I believe Jacoby
Brissett going to play well too.
Injured.
I think Sam Howell is going to play well in this game.
Do you think?
Deep.
Good luck against that Cowboys defense.
I know they're going to fuck him up. They're going to eat his lunch. They are going to eat his lunch. Yeah. I still think he's going to have a good game, considering. Like it's questionable for me. Like I think the only players that I would really take in this game are Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson, and I would take them both to receiving totals. But I'm not doing it, but that's what I would do.
You know, actually, I did just have a thought. So the line is -13 right now for the Cowboys. What's to say the Cowboys by halftime are out by like 2 or 3 scores, and they're like, okay, we feel okay, let's just rest our players? Or do you think they'll keep going? Like, they have to win it. It is must win for them. Hard to say.
McCarthy's he's an interesting animal, right? Like, I think fourth quarter they would definitely rest if they were over 3 scores.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. But
so
to get
I would stay away from the Dak totals. I would stay away from the Dak totals on that game.
Sure.
100%. Like, no, don't give me any of those.
But Jake Ferguson, 3.5, over 3.5. I'm on.
Yeah. Over 3.5. I like it. I really like it.
Okay, look, he's had 3 or more catches every week since week 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it.
Now, he doesn't need to get 4, so there was week 11 and 12 where he had 3 catches exactly. I just think this Washington defense is so bad. They'll get out to a huge lead. In order to get out to that huge lead, they still have to have some sort of production. So
you got to keep it honest, right? You have to keep it honest, but you can keep it short.
Yeah.
You can keep it short. You just keep it honest. You just, like, you can't have a stacked box against you the whole game and expect to do well. Like, you just can't. So you still have to keep it honest. But the script moves for Dallas's favor when they go up 2 scores. The script moves into the rushing, which makes me feel like Rico Dowdle, whatever his totals are, I feel like they're safe. Like, they got to be like 20 rush yards. His rush attempts.
What if, though?
His rush attempts I'd probably take.
But what if they're scoreboard watching with... Sorry.
No. You're good.
What if they're scoreboard watching, though, with this Philly Giants game, and that's like fairly close, or like the Eagles are taking it to the Giants? That's going to be in New York. So, you know what I mean? Like, what happens if they're out to a big score? So, like, the Cowboys need to keep scoring to make sure that they do definitely win the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It's set up well.
It is set up very well. I personally don't like betting on games like this. Like, the only thing that I really like taking in this is contrarian. Like, we feel like Dallas is going to beat the poop out of them. Yeah. So why wouldn't you take the stick-moving players, the check-down players, like, not the long, overdrawn completions like Sam Howell. Zach Wilson. I immediately go to Zach Wilson thinking throwing interceptions. Sam Howell, like, throwing 4 picks. Like, you can't have that. Like, if you want to stay in a game, you can't have that. So, and what team has the most interceptions? I actually think it might be the Jags, but it's very, like, Dallas has been insane on defense for pick sixes.
Yeah.
If you want any production whatsoever out of your quarterback, you're going to keep the ball tight.
That would ruin it. A Dallas defensive touchdown would ruin everything.
And it will happen.
It's possible.
It's not just possible. It's probably going to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
But
all right. Well, I'm still in on it because I think Dallas. I know like Jerry really wants to win this game.
I like Jake Ferguson at 4 receptions. Don't get me wrong. Hate Dak totals. Stay away from Dak totals. If you want to play contrarian, Brian Robinson's fucking receiving total is going to be 12, and Antonio Gibson's going to be 17. So take them over, because honestly, they're each going to get 5-6 targets, and if you count the throw out of bounds by Howell, they're each going to get 11 targets. Yeah. So I mean that's the truth, though, right?
No, I like that play, and also, like, Gibson's been used a ton in the passing game. He's had at least 3 catches in every game since week 8. So
won't be any different in this one.
Yeah, that's a good play. It's a good line. All right.
Yeah. Okay, I got one more.
One more? All right, let's bring it home.
Devin Singletary is 74 all-purpose yards away from a $250,000 bonus.
Yeah.
What the Houston Texans, my phone's going down because I don't need it anymore because this is my last pick.
Yeah.
What the Houston Texans are trying to build right now is it's a culture. It is a vibe that they are trying to put into this locker room. When you are trying to build a team, you want whatever you can do to inject. It's like a pizza party at work, you know? Like you want to you want to give something to the team for the next year. Like if the Texans make the playoffs, awesome. If they don't, still awesome. Like the Texans have done a great job this year. And I think that the whole organization feels that way. I don't think they were expecting to make the playoffs this year.
I think they do. I think they win this game. I think they win.
I think they win this game. I absolutely do think they win this game, and I think the Texans' legacy keeps going. However, I also think that when you're looking at a contract bonus and you're looking at something like Devin Singletary, who has been such a bright, shining piece for this offense, at which I didn't expect it. You know that I didn't expect it. We had a bet.
I did.
Yeah, of course you did, because you bet me. I bet that Dameon Pierce.
We didn't put anything on the line, but
we should have. For your sake.
I mean, well, this is the thing. I had Dameon Pierce last year in fantasy, and everyone was like, "Holy shit, this guy's amazing!" And I was sort of like, "He's all right. He's fine. He's not amazing, but since you like him so much, I'll trade him away." I did.
I mean, he's a rattler. Like he's a bruiser. I love it. I love his running style. It just doesn't last long in the NFL. But Devin Singletary he's been wide open. He's been a satellite. He's been a rushing horse. He's been everything that you could want. Like he's superseded expectations. So here's my
take a look. This is beautiful. Just the comparisons of, the way Vegas was thinking and we in general were thinking about Devin Singletary versus Dameon Pierce all season long. It was very clearly, it took until week 12 for anyone to catch on as to exactly what was going on. And even then there was this cheeky little week 13 here where you could have got Dameon Pierce and Devin Singletary for both like 25 rushing yards.
That's insane.
No one knew which way it was going to go. It was like, okay, is it Dameon Pierce? Is Devin Singletary? Look, ended up being both of them, so that's fine. But then from there on out, it was like, oh no, this is very clearly Devin Singletary's team. Since week 10, he has been the guy. And look at all that green, man. He's been hitting. He's been a star. Yeah. And I think he's played well. He's played better than I expected, even though we made that bet.
Yep. 74 yards. That's all he needs for his bonus. That's a small price to pay when you're that organization.
Scrimmage or rushing?
All purpose.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cool.
Go on DraftKings, do yourself a favor, grab the line, move it down to 75, take Devin Singletary. 75 all-purpose yards, rock and roll. Or it might even be move up. I don't even know what it is. Take it, though. They're going to give him the ball. In space.
And just similar to what we were just talking about as well.
Go.
The only other thing I wanted to really quickly mention was just the Colts' run defense. It's not been good. I've not tracked the last couple of weeks, but having said that, I mean, I know that Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson did have good games against them. So for the most part, most running backs have gotten success for scrimmage, for rushing, for attempts. Teams run the ball on the Colts. Again, must win. Hard to throw in them, but we know Stroud will probably be okay. So yeah, great spot for Devin Singletary here. That's a great pick. I really love that one.
Yeah. So let's recap. Unless you got something.
All right, bud. That's it.
Okay. You first.
Oh, actually, I did. I had I'll just be really quick. It was a DeAndre Swift over 60.5 rushing yards. He hasn't hit that the last couple of weeks, but the Giants' run defense is terrible. Eagles must win. DeAndre Swift is not used at all in the passing game. They use him purely as a rusher. So if you can get 60 rushing yards, I think that's a good spot for him.
What's Gainwell's line on this game?
It won't be much. It'll be like 20,
if it's
25.
20, that's so juicy. That is so juicy.
Yeah, you like that as well?
I do like that as well.
I just like Swift because like he's been getting the rush attempts as well. He's had something like 16 and 20 rush attempts over the last couple of weeks as well.
Oh, it's nuts. Like the whole first half of last game, they barely used him. And then all of a sudden it was just like, here. Every play was like in the fourth quarter, it was 3 plays for Swift, 1 play for somebody else. 3 plays for Swift, 1 play for somebody else. It was insane the amount that they were using him. I did love watching it. I didn't have anything on Swift. I loved watching it. I thought that this is like you're leaning on, and like even when you're looking at him, you're like, that guy's tired. You should probably take him off the field. They're like, give him the ball again.
yeah. And they'll pound it with him. And this the other thing is Devonta Smith. Apparently, the start of the week was on crutches. He'll still play, but there's a bit of controversy going over in Philly. So I mean, it's either that or Ken Walker. I think I'm still on Ken Walker. I don't know. We'll see.
I would go Swift over Ken Walker personally, but I love Ken Walker. Don't get me wrong, love him. It's
gonna be tough against the Cardinals.
It's going to be
even though it shouldn't be. The ones that I do like, though, so DJ Moore over 16.5, 65.5 receiving. I really like that. And then I had Jake Ferguson as well. Over 3.5, even 4.5 catches, I think is fine. I'm okay with.
So what? So that was all of them? That was 4?
That's all of them. Yep.
Okay.
4.
I got D-Hop over 50 receiving yards. Over whatever his reception total is. I have Mike Evans, longest completion, over 23.
So you're going Mike Evans over anything Baker's doing?
Don't even care about Baker.
Okay, but he's the one with the incentives, Baker.
He's the one with the incentives, but you take the guy that is getting the ball.
That gets him those incentives, okay.
yeah. So that's the guy. That's the guy you trust. Hey, you got $2 million on the line? What are you doing? You know?
And there's also a chance that Mike is like, yeah, you give me $300K of that.
Take me out to dinner. Take me out to
dinner. And
we'll
make it happen.
We'll make it happen. Yeah. Hey, sweet hands. Let me go get them. Like, you know, like it's honestly, like that's the boy you trust. That's what you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, Mike Evans, he's got 61.5 receiving yards. Take the over. Longest completion over 23.5. Take the over. I'm tailing John on the DJ Moore pick, and I'm taking Devin Singletary over 75 all-purpose yards.
All right, let's do it. Send us out.
Hey, week 18.
Oh God,
John.
Let's go.
Hey, it's not over. None of this is over. It just feels like it's coming to an end. But you know what? These are great times in football. We have playoffs coming up. We've got a whole lot of reason to continue partying. So let's keep partying. Week 18, let's go. Let's go. John, pleasure, buddy.